Hey y'all, welcome to Sir again. We are doing something special here for you. We are going to be going with the idea of dairy for Shavuos. So here we can't use dairy, so we hope that at home you can substitute most of these ingredients for dairy, but let's just hop right to it, right? So everything for the most part is all prepped out for us. This is just going to be an assembly line here. So here I have 7 ounces of vegan cream cheese. Now at home, definitely use regular cream cheese. You can also substitute this for something like goat cheese. It would be fantastic. Next, we have 7 ounces of beet puree. So these are just beets that we roasted off, peeled, and blended just nice and smooth. Next, we have 3.5 ounces of a smoked almond ricotta. Next, 3 eggs, right in. 2 tablespoons of chopped dill. And we're gonna save just a little bit of this, maybe half a tablespoon. We have about 1.5 tablespoons of lemon zest, pinch of salt, and freshly cracked black pepper. I'm gonna turn this on, make sure it mixes thoroughly. So everything is incorporated. We're going to let this go and then scrape down the sides. Now, beforehand, we had used this to chop up some pistachios. So this is going to be our crust for our savory cheesecake that we're making. So these are just raw pistachios. We haven't toasted them. Reason being is this is going to get cooked in the oven. So we don't want to burn them. If we toasted them before, could potentially burn, right? So we're going to use about half a cup. Next, I have a spice mix here. This is 2 parts ground coriander, 1 part garlic powder, 1 part cumin, and 1 part Aleppo pepper, which is kind of like a chili flake. So we're going to add some of that in. We're going to save that for later. To work as a binder, we're going to add a tablespoon or 2 of extra virgin olive oil. Mix this thoroughly. I'm also going to season our crust with a pinch of salt and black pepper. All right, so already prepared for me is a sheet pan. This is a cake mold. You can use a springform pan if you have them. This is a 6-inch one. This recipe will make a perfect 6-inch cheesecake, which incidentally fits really, really well on your cheese board. So all we're doing is putting this on the bottom and pressing it so it's nice and compact and flat. Now with your crust, you can add any flavorings, any seasonings, anything you'd like to at home. I have about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice here, freshly squeezed. And we're just going to use a spatula to make sure everything's off the sides. So our oven is set to a low fan at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And now we're going to take our cheesecake, pop it in the oven, again, 350. This is going to bake for between 20 and 25 minutes until the edges are completely set and the center is just slightly wobbly. And we'll see you back here in just a couple minutes. We're back. Our cheesecake is almost finished. We're going to work on some garnishes as well as the wine. So with this, we're going to be pairing our Lineage Chardonnay. Super nice, fresh, not super buttery and oaky, still has some nice acid that we think will play really, really nice with these kind of creamy notes. All right, so a couple things that we're going to do. So first, dill. So we just picked some really nice dill plushes that we'll put on top. We also, to kind of carry over those beets, I always like to garnish everything that I garnish with. I try to incorporate in the dish. The garnishes have a purpose. They're not just throw it on top, right? So the beets, we've done some candy stripe beets. We've just shaved those super, super thin and put them in some ice water to kind of crisp up. Next, we're going to take some of that pistachio crumble that we saved. Just a couple spoonfuls. We're going to take some of that fresh dill that we saved. Some of that spice mix. Little salt and pepper. One thing that I wanted to mention while we're just finished baking, again, you can change up all of these flavors. Any of the herbs you can change up. You can change up the nuts for a different kind of seasonality. You can change up the kinds of cheeses, right? We use vegan cream cheese. I suggest regular cream cheese. We used a smoked almond ricotta. I would suggest something like goat cheese or feta, both of which very, very classic choices with beet. Yeah, you can even do something completely different if you'd like. I would stick to creamy cheeses, though. Don't go too crazy with the cheddars and the Goudas, and that it might kind of mess up the ratios a bit. But yeah, definitely take this and make it your own, right? You can make this, absolutely, it'll be fantastic, but you can also, switch things around. All right, so our cheesecake should be ready to go. We're just going to pull him out of the oven. Perfect. Nice and set. Now, the difference, I've messed around with both. The difference with the vegan cheesecake, you want to make sure that it is completely set all the way through. When you're talking about when you're using dairy, make sure that center is just a little bit jiggly and it will set up really, really nice in the fridge. So now we're going to take this and put it in the fridge for at least 5 hours to completely cool all the way through. And now we kind of wait. Then a few hours. Our cheesecake should be nice and set up. Cooled all the way through. We have our garnishes ready to go. And now it's time to plate up. A great tool for getting this mold off is a toothpick, a cake tester, a very, very thin paring knife. Honestly, even a paper clip would work great, just to kind of separate those edges. And now, it's kind of just make it your own. Just a little extra virgin olive oil on top. And that is it. Again, I would add this to something like, any gathering that you're having, especially for Shavuos, around a cheese board. This could be your centerpiece. And, it's a great surprise for people that have never had a savory cheesecake. Super, super fun. Yeah, it's delicious. Even being vegan, it's delicious. Because the vegan cheeses are a bit muted, the beet really, really pops through, and the lemon there really does a lot of heavy lifting, kind of uplifting those flavors and making everything kind of sing. And the wine is perfect. There's that little bit of spice, which that kind of slight sweetness in the wine helps out with. And again, kind of washes your palate, and you're just kind of ready for that next bite. It's absolutely perfect. Yeah, I'm super happy with this. Hope you make it, and I hope to see you again soon.